What the f-
Assassin's Creed has had a pretty shaky reputation in the last few years. When the first game was released, most of us were intrigued and we saw the potential a franchise like this could have. Exploring historical societies and time periods that weren't common in video games and playing the role of a badass assassin killing baddies with a hidden blade? Oh, damn right we were waiting for that sequel. A couple of years later, Assassin's Creed 2 came out and we were all like, oh, so good. And after that, done. Franchise established. Everything was going good at this point. We knew AC3 was coming sooner or later, and we got a couple decent filler titles with Brotherhood and Revelations to pass the time while we waited for the next main entry. Then the day AC3 came out, and some people liked it. I was kind of indifferent, but that's another video. So at this point I was thinking, okay, it's gonna be a while before we see 4. What the fuck was I thinking? A year later, Black Flag came out, and that's when it was clear. The series had no doubt turned into a yearly release franchise, but this one had pirates, so it got a pass. Why? Because I said so. So shut up before you get beat up. But even then, it was only a matter of time before Ubisoft wasn't going to be able to keep up. And holy hell, it did not take them long to fuck up royally. So instead of focusing on one title, they released 2. Assassin's Creed Rogue and Unity. I don't remember hearing too much on Rogue though, because Unity was getting slammed because it was a bug-ridden joke of a release. We had to download this huge patch just to try and fix the bugs, and you had to buy that stupid app just to unlock chests in game. That didn't work either from what I was told. So to try and save any good faith they had left, they released the first DLC pack for free and got rid of the app. Okay, I get greed played a big part in this, but why the hell would you even attempt a dual release when you're already pumping out games yearly at this point? You had to have known you were pushing it then. People were starting to feel fatigued for the franchise, and on top of that, you're not giving the developers enough time to make sure things ran right? You got way too cocky, Ubisoft. You greedy bastards. So it's pretty clear why this game was hated when it first came out. I know I'm glad I didn't rush out and buy it around launch, but it's been over a year since its release, and there are patches that supposedly fix these problems, so now it's time to see if this game would have been decent if it wasn't for this gong show. Okay, let's start this sucker up, but whoa! 6 gigabytes for this patch? Man, that's one major screw up! Alrighty, now let's jump into the game. Also, heads up, I will not be talking about the co-op missions other than mild mentions. I don't have PlayStation Plus, and I certainly wasn't getting it for this game. Definitely never getting it fucking for this game. So, when we start, we get the whole Abstergo advertisement about what they do and what they're all about, and soon you're sent to this screen that gives you a selection of different time periods and people to play as, which is a pretty big tease. Fuck you too. So, obviously we had to pick this dude, Jacques de Molloy, and now we begin our first mission. The year is 1307. The assassins are planning a raid on the Templar Castle hideout in an attempt to steal the Sword of Eden. Jack sends this guy to go protect it, and we start playing. We run here, then up here, then through here, just to find what looks like an alternate color Altair, even though it isn't him, obviously, who has stolen what looks to be a book and the sword. So Buddy chases him down here, hits him a few times, he escapes, chases him over here, he gets tackled, hits him a few more times, cutscene showing him lose the sword, and I want that sword. Like now! Gimme! Then this simulation gets hacked by yours truly, the Assassins. Specifically, someone named Bishop who lets you know that the Assassins are good and the Templars are bad and they need your help to find the pieces of Eden, damn it! So after a bit of hacking, we are now taking control of a 10-year-old boy named Arnold Dorian set in the 1700s, who has accompanied his father Charles, who is attending a meeting with the Assassins. While Arnold has been told to wait until his dad returns, it took him a matter of, I think, 20 seconds to disobey him, and chases after a little girl named Elise. That's certainly not going to have repercussions for that action. Dipshit. So after a little bit of mischief to show off a tutorial, Arno and Elise run back to the hall after hearing a commotion, which unfortunately turns out to be the death of Arno's father. Do you see what you did, Arno? You killed your dad. He'd still be alive if you did as he said. You should be ashamed of yourself. That was cruel, but honestly, the hell with this Ezio 2.0 wannabe. Once we skip ahead to him as an adult, you immediately start noticing the similarities between Arno and Ezio. But where Ezio was cool, charming, and all around interesting to play as, Arno, well, he kinda lacks these things. At first, I felt a little bit of fond memories over Assassin's Creed 2 when I noticed these slight similarities. Hell, they're even closely dressed the same. But that quickly vanished because the game just doesn't give me a reason to care about him. Yeah, it's sad that his dad gets killed, but that's literally the first mission. There's no build up to him and his relationship with his dad to get you to care. Realistically, the game's story seems to focus more on his relationship with his adoptive father Francois and now sister Elise. But even then, you're not getting much to really care. Like, this is what's considered the opening for Unity. Arno cheats at poker, gets chased by the guys he cheated, runs home and lets new daddy to tell him to fuck off. Soon after, Arno needs to give Francois a letter that was failed to be delivered to him, but decides the hell with that. There's a party for Elise and invited or not. Arno's going to get some for JJ and just slides that note under the door. This quickly bites him in the ass, because after crashing Elise's party and has a few dorky pickup lines that I totally wouldn't use on a woman myself, because let's face it, with my brutally handsome looks, I'd probably get a busted nose if I did that. Arno quickly realizes that him not delivering that letter means his actions killed second daddy, since the letter was to let Francois know about an assassination attempt on him. Oops.
Arno, like, seriously? Just kill yourself. Because honestly, these people are much better off without you.
So of course, after this, Arno is wrongly accused and arrested for the death of dead daddy number 2, and shortly after being sent to prison, he runs into a man named Pierre Bellic, who notices the watch that Arno's dead dad number 1 had given to him as a child. Bellic recognizes the pocket watch since he was a mentor to Charles, and after secretly testing Arno's abilities, he soon tells Arno about the assassins him and his father were a part of. And for the next couple months, he begins to train him in hopes that Arno will join the Brotherhood. And for the sake of progressing what story this game actually has, Arno and Pierre are able to escape prison. Then Arno tries to find Elise to prove that he didn't kill her father, and she reveals that they were both part of the Templar Order. Dun dun dun! Okay, actually I wasn't expecting that, so consider me kind of impressed on that one. And that's literally the opening. And that barely even qualifies as a summarization. That was Sequence 1, and the first mission of Sequence 2, a total of 4 missions. I am not shitting you. Other than Sequence 7 having 4 missions, every memory sequence has either 2 or 3 max. And it's a wonder why people think Arno's boring or that we're unable to feel a connection with the story. Which is a shame because I like the concept, but it doesn't give you nearly enough time to connect with Arno. We should be feeling the heartache and turmoil of this character. He realizes that his actions killed both father figures in his life, and the girl he loves is the very thing he's supposed to terminate now. That alone should have made for an interesting story, but it's rushed. And now that I think about it, why the hell does this game have so few story missions? They got rid of the competitive multiplayer altogether, so they clearly only had to focus on the main game, so what the hell? Oh boy, I just got my answer. Slightly off topic because I need to get this off my chest, but what the fuck were they thinking only allowing the player to have one save file that you can't even delete in-game? Because of this dipshit oversight, I had to delete my entire save file after I was done because my capture card screwed up on recording that Jacques mission. So, yeah, I had to get this finger to Silicon Knights in a previous video, and now I get the same finger to you, Ubisoft. Just so you know, it's the fuck you finger. But anyway, as you can see, there's a bigger focus on side missions this time around, which, I mean, it would make sense with Ubisoft promoting the hell out of the co-aspect aspect of this game, but you can't even do most of the crap with even just one partner. Are you guys fucking stupid or something? The only way you're playing with a friend is with the mission specific to the co-op aspect, and that only makes up about maybe 2/10 of the side quests. Given I didn't mind this too much since it's not like I could play online anyway, but I can't not acknowledge the wasted potential here. A great example of this is the Paris stories. There's a ton of them in this game, and they'll have you doing a lot of different things, such as defending a coffin as it makes its way to the funeral, escorting someone safely to a designated area, or something as simple as a fetch quest. Now, I'm not saying everyone should be 2-player, but I know some of them could have worked with co-op, and these Paris stories could have been much more enjoyable with a friend. But, oh well. You can apparently invite people to your game and hunt for chests and insignias, I guess, but man, what a fucking waste. In terms of gameplay itself, there were a few changes. The first noticeable one was being able to crouch to remain undetected, an idea that I'm surprised took them this long to include. A really good idea that unfortunately just isn't useful this time around because the game does nothing major to penalize the player for being caught. For example, you don't desynchronize the stalking mission this time around, so if you get caught, a couple guards will come after you, you kill them or you climb up a building since they don't know how to climb in this game, that's a whole new level of stupid dumb right there, then the game tells you go right back to the last known area of your target to start it up again. Like, look what I'm doing here. If I did this in any other game, I'd be getting so many restarts. But because of this choice, it completely takes away any point in being stealthy. This holds especially true in combat and customizing Arno. When you first start out, Arno is heavily underpowered, and if he goes into the higher level districts, it won't be long before he gets his ass handed to him. This is where customization comes in. As you complete missions and certain actions, you'll earn sync points to unlock skills for Arno such as better health, double assassination kills, or even stuff like a better lockpicking skill, which can seriously go fuck itself! I'm not getting into that. No, it sucks. You'll also earn assassin points by performing actions such as air assassinations or even just performing a finisher. You'll use these points to upgrade the armor and weapons Arnold could buy. I really like this new aspect. It kind of gives an RPG element to the game and allows you to customize how you want to play. Whether it's being a tank-like sword user or having a rifle as your main weapon and having a higher emphasis on stealth. This is a mechanic I'd really like to see Ubisoft explore even further in future titles. But this is a mechanic that is crucial, because if you think you can just ignore it like I did at first, well, like I said, you will have your ass handed to you in combat, because combat got a major revamp. This time, combat was meant to be more realistic, so they dropped the combo mechanic since it made it way too easy to take out enemies in the past games. Now, I understand why they wanted to make the combat a little bit more challenging, but what they did here I felt wasn't a proper alternative. Now it's about naturally draining the health of your enemies. You can speed this up with better weapons and smoke bombs, but because both Arno and the people he fights are on much more even grounds, this results in a much more slow and sluggish pace for combat. Sure, the combo system was overpowered in previous games, but goddamn, at least it was entertaining, and you felt accomplished when you took out 20 people this way. But now I felt like I was doing the same thing every time. Well, isn't that basically what the combo system did? Shut up! Smoke bomb these guys, kill them, rinse and repeat. And this exploit also attributed towards the lack of stealth feeling. Now sure, some of you may say, just don't use the exploit. Yeah, and then take forever trying to kill these guys? No thanks, you guys realize I'm playing Unity, right? Oh, and the other problem is the pot shots guards and enemies will be able to fucking take on deadly attackers. Oh, I fucking hate these assholes and their stupid fucking guns. Oh, Arno has a hard time trying to choose who he wants to go after, so if you're trying to go after the guy who's about to take a shot, he'll slowly walk away from his closer attackers and just going after the fucking shooter like you want him to. So if you want to break away from the action, you'll just have to start running away in the direction of the shooter to close in on him. I think this is because Arno's trying to focus on all enemies instead of just one person like in the previous games, so he can't lunge at the character you want him to, and because of this it leads to a lot of frustration. But if there's one thing I hated about this game, well, one of the few things, which don't worry, I'm gonna really tear apart soon enough, was the way Arno controls, specifically when it comes to climbing. Now, AC has always had its issues with parkour. When it goes smoothly, you feel accomplished and just really good. But when it doesn't go so smoothly and you're clinging to every little fucking ledge, it is easily the most aggravating and the most frustrating and the most frustrated and infuriating thing you can experience in a series. These instances usually have me screaming, "Get down, you stupid fucking cocksucking retard! Oh my god, get the fuck down!" So they made some changes to this. The two biggest ones were having the choice to climb up or down while free running. This one was a welcome change in my opinion. Being able to choose to go up or down while running was pretty nice. But then they do something like this where they make Arno the stickiest character yet. Now I get why they did this, probably to prevent the player from falling to their deaths frequently. But this comes at a cost for Arno's movement in this instance. You are so restricted in just about everything that deals with climbing. Want to drop down to the ground, which is only a couple stories high? Well, the hell with what you want. Or do you want to jump off a ledge to catch up to your target, choosing to actively take damage and use medicine after? Well, tough fucking noogies. You're only jumping down every second or third ledge, or not at all. Actually, while we're on the topic of terrain climbing and such, let's talk about these stupid cocksucking motherfucking Nostradamus insignia fragments. The idea of these insignia missions is to find the symbols hidden throughout the city with the clue given to you for each one as part of that specific mission. I think these were based on the Subject 16 hidden glyphs from Assassin's Creed and Brotherhood. No, cool ideas, but yeesh, what the hell happened here? The reason why you would even want to consider collecting these fragments is because at some point in the story, you'll gain access to the Madame Cafe as your base of operations. Here, you can renovate the cafe as a way to increase your income revenue. Yep, the banking system is back, thank the fuck Christ! And while you're exploring the cafe, you'll soon find an underground chamber that's housing what looks to be this game's ultimate armor. You soon find out that to unlock the armor, you need to collect all 18 Nostradamus insignia fragments, and now onto why I hate them so fucking much. To get each fragment, you need to find at least 3 symbols within Paris with only one clue for each symbol, which is very vague and cryptic. This means that the game thinks you'll be able to find each symbol in a fucking city that most people playing won't have a clue about even after they've been playing for a long time. Just think about that for a minute. You need to have a memorization of Paris to find these symbols. And it doesn't even tell you what district the next one is in. Yeah, that's right, they aren't even all in the same fucking district. Look at this one. You had the first one starting here, then one here, and the final one is in this district. Who the hell is going to be able to figure this out without a guide? And then it gets even worse once you find them all! That's right, it gets worse, I'm not shitting you! Once you get back to the chamber and activate the fragments, you unlock 3 challenges to finally unlock the outfit! The first 2 challenges were okay, nothing major to figure out, but this one right here can seriously eat my fucking cracky! Yay, a speed platforming section where Arnold's restrictive climbing control... Arnold's restrictive climbing controls came to bite me back in the ass one more fucking time. Oh, happy days. Although when this happens, I can't help but smile at something like that, even if it forced me to reset. Seriously, look at Arnold. He's like, I can't get out. But that smile quickly vanished once I realized that this wasn't an ultimate armor with special perks, but a caution that was no different from the other ones, and it was purely cosmetic.
This has got to be the biggest middle finger a video game has ever given me. The shit that fucking game makes you go through just to unlock an alternate color of Altair's outfit that can't decide whether it's black or blue. Unbelievable. I've given many games a finger in my time, but this is the first time where the game has given me the finger back. I don't like it.
After this point, I didn't care anymore. I just wanted to finish the main campaign and be done with this game. So as far as I was concerned, there was no reason for me to do any more of this stupid side shit. If I did, I'd seriously have to kill myself, so speaking of which, let's get back to the main story. So, after Arno is inducted into the Assassins, he begins to search for the men who conspired to kill Francois, and a little bit later, Elise joins Arno in his quest once she starts getting attacked by the Templars herself. During this search, you'll be doing a lot of assassination missions this time around. Yeah, I know, shut the hell up and let me rephrase that. What I mean is that there's a lot more than usual. In fact, most sequences have 1 in it. I think the reason for this was that they wanted to show off how much freedom you had in these missions now, and holy hell, you do have a lot of freedom now. At the start of these missions, you'll get a layout of how many guards, alarm bells, entrances, and how many distraction methods the mission gives you. After that, you do what you want. You can focus on being stealthy, dispatching enemies, and disabling alarm bells first to avoid confrontations, or you could be like me in some of them and just charge into battle and hope for the best. Which essentially equals to an outcome like this.
No. Oh. I squished my nuggets. Oh.
The only thing I don't really like about the assassination missions is that there's so many of them. Well, that's actually not the mission's fault. That's Ubisoft's fault for not having more story missions and letting these ones feel so repetitive. Honestly, besides assassination missions, there was only a few missions that really stood out to me. The first one was the Rift missions. At certain parts of the story, Abstergo begins to check their systems to make sure nothing weird is happening, such as Bishop hacking Johnny No Name into memories he's not supposed to be reliving. So, to fool the system, Bishop has you jumping into these rifts at different time periods where you must race to the end of the rift in an Uncharted-like platforming section. They're coolish, I guess, but realistically, they don't serve any real purpose other than being cool. You could take them right out of the game and you would lose absolutely nothing. A little later on, there's a mission where Elise asks the Creed for help against a faction of the Templars that are trying to kill her. Of course, most of the council is opposed to this, especially since Arno at this point has been doing stuff without consent. But Honoré Mirabeau, the leader of the French assassins, accepted to help Elise. This choice led to his death in a fairly interesting mission. This mission was set up like a murder mystery where Arno had to find and evaluate clues so he could figure out who killed him. This was a welcome addition in my opinion. Being able to figure out for yourself and guess who killed Mirabeau was really interesting because you didn't really know for sure who did it. The first time playing, it really makes you use your head and I really fucking wish there was another one. Wow, that was a bad stutter. Now, yeah, there were side missions that were dedicated to this type of mission, and while they were fun, they just weren't as interesting as this one because they didn't relate to the story. In fact, this was probably the only time where I was actually interested in the story and these characters. Arno soon finds out that it was Pierre that was the one that actually killed Mirabeau because he couldn't accept his decision to help Elise. Arno then has to kill his mentor, and it's an epic but not really epic fight to the death where Arno obviously wins. Good job, Arno, you got main character immortality. But afterwards, Arno ends up getting expelled from the Brotherhood because of his reckless actions and what they consider Arno acting on his own vendetta and compromising the Brotherhood. Are you fucking kidding me? He killed the guy that killed your Grand Master, and you expel him for it. Yeah, I'd be fucking fed up with these guys too. You know what? Fuck these guys. He gets drunk, loses his watch, Elise shows up with it, and now they join forces once again to find and kill Templar Grand Master Francois, number 2, Thomas Germain. The man pretty much responsible for killing Elise's dad. Jesus Christ, I said Francois way too many times. Like I've said earlier, the concept for this game's story is interesting, and it could have been amazing if it was executed properly. I like that they showed that not all Templars were black and white. Elise and her dad could have been considered decent people who are really trying to bring peace to the world. But the game just doesn't give me any reason to care. And thank God, lastly, the final mission. The only reason why I would even remember it is because of the final boss fight with Germaine. And oh shit, the Sword of Eden! How nice of you to show up after hearing nothing about it after all this time. And oh my god, this boss fight is laughably the easiest fight within the entire series! Germaine can shoot you with bolts of lightning the sword produces if he spots you, so the idea is to let Elise be the decoy and distract him as you sneak him and attack him about 3 or 4 more times. But remember how I said I would generally just smoke bomb my enemies for easy kills? Again, I am not shitting you! It's like the developers just gave up at the end because you should not be able to do this for a final boss. So after you finish him off, you get a cutscene showing that Germaine is still barely alive and shoots the sword, managing to trap Arno under a bed of concrete. Elise rushes over to help Arno out of it, but sees that Germaine is still trying to escape. Ultimately, she makes the biggest dumbass decision of her life to go after Germaine, then help Arno first. Like, seriously? You see what that sword is capable of, but you rush him head on anyway? What a fucking retard. Arno escapes the rubble, runs to save Elise, but fails as she dies, and I'm done talking about this story. So, the big question, do I recommend this game? Hell no, and yet I kinda can. I know, it's weird. Even with the patch fixing most of the bugs and glitches, it's just a really boring game when you compare it to the others. No matter how I might feel about the other games, good or bad, at least they have their own identity to pull you in. Yet for its price, especially by the time you watch this and the free DLC you're able to get for it, I can recommend a playthrough, to at least let you appreciate just how much better the other games are. But anyway, after the credits, Arno gains 2 new items. His Master Assassin Oven, which like the other ones are just for show, and the the Sword of Eden, oh kick-ass, man! Fucking right, I'm gonna fry you motherfuckers now! Whoa, 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 whoa! What the hell? No! Whatever powered its remarkable abilities is broken, but the blade is still deadly sharp?
This is fucking bullshit! It did it again! It shot me in the middle finger for a second time! And on top of it, its stats are equal to the sword I was fucking using! That's a middle finger hat trick! No. This game ain't worth the frustration. Just up where I squished my fucking nads. You're definitely not worth my time. Certainly not worth the frustration. There's only one place I can put you in. Stupid game. I didn't do it, right? Fucking stupid shit. Fucking hate this stupid game.
And I'd say that's about a wrap for my first year of Dirtbag Gaming. It's been quite the experience, and I definitely look forward to a new year of entertaining you guys. I want to give a big shout out to the channels Irish Hitman TV and Powercord. They've done some pretty cool stuff, and I see bright futures for both of them. I also want to give a big thanks to my girl Kristen. I can't believe just how much you've been promoting my channel on Twitter and Facebook, and not to mention getting me that tripod for Christmas. No more boxes or stacks of game cases to put my camera on for this guy. And of course, I like to give a thanks to my folks for putting up with me because I know I'm a dickhead. But lastly, I want to thank my fan base. Knowing that my videos have entertained you this year really makes me strive to be the best that I can be, because if it wasn't for you guys, I'd see no point in doing this, so I sincerely thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the new year. You guys have a good one.